Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Mother Monday, the Mother Talk show every single Monday. And I just have to say, it is an absolutely beautiful Wednesday morning for one of these. Today, we're going to go into the history of, oh boy, your favorite. The history of something that doesn't matter at all besides to a very small group of people, including myself. So let's talk about this. EarthBound. What is its title? It's very inconsistent. So let's discuss and look at how it's changed over the years. So it actually starts before EarthBound with Mother, the first game in the series. Yes, it's probably, super simple to knowledge at this point, but Mother is the Japanese title for the series. That's it. Everyone, I always see comments of people being confused over why it has a different title. It was just localized because they thought it sounded lame. Anyway, I love the title Mother, but that's not the point. When they were going to bring it over to the NES in the United States, they localized it to EarthBound. They did have some early attempts at adapting the Mother title, but EarthBound is ultimately what they settled on. EarthBound, and as it was seen in many listings, had a space between it, sometimes in all caps, sometimes not. Already inconsistencies are going awry, But EarthBound is what it was going to be. However, this never came out. It was canceled before it was released, so it didn't end up mattering. Fast forward like 5 years, Mother 2 releases. Nice and simple, no need to get all technical and chronologically confused, if you will. Mother 2. Nice and simple, plain as day football. So when this was being brought over, this is where the inconsistencies started really getting out of hand. So some listings put EarthBound as all caps one word, some put it as two words, which we saw in these recent videos. We already knew about this, but that's not the point. Some listings showed it as two words, and they even tried to repurpose the original title, which was also two words, and had all caps, sometimes not all caps, yada yada. However, they ended up not going with this and ended up changing it to EarthBound. Plain and simple, am I right? One compound word. Or is it? This is where things get insane, okay? So this is the point where they stopped caring, I guess. I mean, it didn't look like the full force of the marketing team was behind this game anyway, am I right? Hey, there you are. Thanks for showing up, dude. So when EarthBound officially came out, we saw even more inconsistencies. There were some one-off retailers that listed it as EarthBound two words still, but we can more or less conclude that's not the intention. But we saw the all caps logo. We saw it with only the capital B logo, which debuted in that box art I just showed, and EarthBound with a lowercase b. This is on the cartridge, man. That's about as official as it gets, am I right? Because this is just the unstylized, plain as grass logo, am I right? So, which one is it? It seems like this one has a lot of levity, but it seems like the way it's stylized, the capital B is what's intended. Let's dig a little deeper. This brings us to after EarthBound's release, when EarthBound 64 was in development for the Nintendo 64, where they seem to double down quite a bit on the all caps logo, maybe trying to pseudo sync up with the Japanese canon, which uses oftentimes an all uppercase title for the Mother series. But this ended up not mattering either, much like the first game, canceled, So it didn't end up mattering. So the war between these three rages on. This brings us to the Super Smash Bros. Series, where things seem to be settled, because Paula here, and all of the EarthBound trophies actually in Melee, use the uppercase B. And then Porky seemed to be another nail in the coffin, because Porky was even the source in Brawl of the retcon of the Pokey name. So it seemed like Smash Brothers was taking this pretty seriously, and also uppercase B, and the Smash Brothers series continues to do that. So it seems like this is set in stone, right? However, there is some contention considering Smash is not canon. Why that would apply to a title, who knows? But the war rages on. This finally brings us to 2013 when EarthBound was finally re-released after 9 years. 19 years. Am I stupid? I am stupid. 19 years. And it sports the uppercase B, and it was listed in the eShop this way. This seems to be it, right? Well, 2 years later, Earthbound Beginnings is finally localized. Yes, Mother 1 finally made it out of Japan overseas worldwide as Earthbound Beginnings. Oh boy, here we go again, right? It seems like by this point the capital B compound word was set in stone. There's no questions about it at this point, and we can just retroactively apply it to this, right? Well, guess what title screen that prototype that they released used? That's right, the two separate words again. So what is it now? What is considered the official spelling now? Is it the two words or is it the one word? Because it seems like we're settled on the capital B. However, now it's one word versus two words. Well, this was quickly put to rest when it came out on the eShop, and further down the line, even with the Switch, where with the Switch releases, as we can see, even though the logo still uses the two words, we can see in the name, the listed name, it is now synced up with the stylization with the capital B. And this is really good because it cancels out any sort of questions about the lowercase b that was on the cartridge way back when. So there you have it. The history of something that is very, very stupid and probably doesn't matter to many people. But I'm not many people, if you know what I'm saying. So thank you for joining me on this journey. Happy Mother Monday, everyone, and a happy Mother Year.